When conducting job interviews with candidates that we are looking to hire in our tech company, or when I talk to business leaders, I often hear a big misconception. And this is that people seem to believe that using AI means using it as a chatbot. So people think that if they use ChatGPT or the ones that are a bit more refined, Claude, and they use it as a chat, that this is now what they need to do. This is where they get all the value out of using AI. But this is flawed, and my humble opinion is that many people completely misunderstand what it means to use AI for businesses. So in this video, I want to give you a short outline based on my experience as an ex-McKinsey consultant and project lead, later a CTO in a retail company, currently a COO in a tech company, what it actually means for business to use AI in its organization. And this will be not only helpful if you are the owner of a business, but also if you are professionally responsible for a small team, for some processes, and you're wondering how you can actually leverage AI for your organization. So using AI as a chatbot is, you could say, level 1 of implementing AI in your organization. But there are actually 3 additional levels I now want to introduce to you, hopefully making it insightful and helpful. The second level is about digitalizing the process in the first step. And arguably this doesn't even have anything to do with AI. What I often see is that people are priding themselves of using chatbots to then maybe get some support on something, but they're not even able to digitalize the process in a proper way. And arguably this was possible even before AI with tools like make.com or nowadays N8N, or arguably this is exactly what ERP systems are doing already for decades. And let's use the example of an inbound inquiry. Let's say a prospect writes an email to you in a sales context, expresses his or her interest to work with you. And now a digitalized process might be a process where here there's a system that picks up this email. This then automatically gets maybe tagged based on some keywords that are in the email. And then based on these identified keywords gets routed to some team members that then receive a task maybe in their CRM system to now answer this request. Arguably, such a systematic way to deal with these requests in most organizations don't exist. This might in most organizations just be an inbox where then people receive these emails, and then there's some employee thinking he or she is using AI by now pasting maybe this email in the chat and then drafting an answer email to that. But what you need to understand is that in order to even work with AI in a sensible way, you need first a digitalized process like this. And this does not even need AI, but this is the foundation for AI. And it's arguably more even sophisticated than just using a simple chatbot. But this is then, of course, only the starting point. And then let's talk about the next level here. And the next level is that now you're looking into such a process and you're now replacing some, or maybe over time, all steps with AI agents, so with some type of intelligence. So for instance, in this system, you remember that here there is a step where some system is just looking for some keywords that, of course, you need to define and then see, hey, is this an email that is related to sales or not? And of course, this is a logic that could be very well now taken care of LLMs. So here automatically you integrate an LLM step, and the LLM is now analyzing the content of the email and now deciding, is this a sales email? Is this an email that is maybe more for customer service? Is this an email that is maybe like an invoice or a purchase order that someone sends you, which then should get routed to the finance team? So here, not based on keywords, but based on the logic that, of course, you can also get hold of in such a chatbot, but it automatically uses this and then routes it to the right people, right? So then still it continues routing it to the right person, but this is then done automatically based on intelligence and not based on someone needing to code all these steps. And then, of course, in addition to that, this logic might then also be smart enough. You could add new steps, which then maybe directly assess the CRM system. So they then might be able to look up the right person in the CRM, update the CRM record, maybe then directly provide a draft for the person that then needs to answer to that email, that this person then just needs to double check and then send. This is agentic steps, but of course, to do that, you need already the foundation, some understanding of the process as a foundation, but then you can replace some steps with AI agents. But there's one step even more advanced than that, and this is what people call agentic orchestration. And the idea, of course, is that over time, you might have lots of processes like that you have digitalized, maybe already with some AI steps in there across the organization. And then these individual workflows themselves become tools. Because you might have a workflow that decides how the CRM system should be updated in a smart way, depending on some inputs. You might have this workflow right here that decides who should work on which emails. You might have a workflow that decides how to deal with invoices, how to then start certain other finance processes based on the invoices. You might have workflows that after every sales organization get sales transcripts, maybe provides feedback to the salesperson how well the person did, maybe update some other levels as well. So essentially many of the areas in your organization, and of course you should do that or start that probably team by team to then go step by step. You have all these intelligent workflows. But now what this of course still requires is, in the current form, a manager who now manages all of this. Someone who now says, hey, these tasks now should be handled like this is what this should be for, etc. And the idea is that at some point, this can also be replaced by AI agents. Not at some point today. You can set this up today with today's technology, with today's means, where essentially you have now an agent on top of all of that, which is an LLM and is just now confronted with any task. You can input at some point any task, anything that's possible, anything that you want to get done. And now this person, this LLM, has all these tools available, which then in themselves, of course, are little AI tools, has all these tools available, and then can decide autonomously which of these tools to call for different tasks, for different activities. In addition to that, this system might have also access to your calendar, right, to look up maybe some calendar invites, and might have access to your email system to read or write emails. It might have access to maybe your internal wiki, so like a knowledge base of the company, understanding in detail how your processes work, background about your company, background about every single employee, about things that are important to you, about your offering, and all other internal tools that you might use. And then based on all of this access and now all these workflows available, that person can autonomously make choices or orchestrate all these other agents that exist. So this is what using AI in businesses means based on the current level of how AI works. If you think that you are using AI as an individual contributor, or even as a team lead or as a business owner, by just using a chatbot, you are already years behind of what other companies are doing. And if you're interested in more insights like this, how you can implement systems like this in your individual role at a company as an individual contributor, or if you're a business owner who wants to use things like this for your business, this is exactly what we developed the Firm Learning Mentoring Program for. We offer free initial consultations where you can share your status quo with us, your goals, what you're currently doing, and then you will already get a first strategy from us, what we would recommend you to do. And then if you're interested, then we can then also implement this together. Link in the video description if you're interested in such a free initial consultation. If you took any value out of the video, please destroy the like button, hit subscribe to stay up to date on all the content. Big thanks to all the channel members. I release weekly videos here on the From Learning channel. See you soon again next week.